Corp Australia has had a long commitment to the environment, all the way from our executive chairman right through our executive team. Our News Corp Australia emissions have reduced by 39% over the last few years. Our logistics network has several hybrid trucks making us more efficient on the road. In fact, we were one of the first organisations to have an electric car in 2011, Mitsubishi IMEV, and it was the start of a great partnership.
Some people may not know that Mitsubishi Motors has been working electric vehicle technology for 50 years, and I'm proud to say we are the leader in that space.
People should remember that our electricity grid is changing. We've got a 20% target for renewable energy by 2020, which means 20% of the electricity you put into your car will be renewable energy. But in Victoria at the moment, they've got a 40% target for 2025. The world's changing, the environment's going to benefit.
We've come to an Edison moment. In the 19th and 20th century, Edison helped develop an electric vehicle. Then we went to old petrol and diesel type technologies because it was cheap. The reverse is happening. We are now transitioning away from that old fossil fuel transport mode. We're going to EVs that are more efficient, which we should have done 100 years ago. But we're there now and we aren't going back.
The great thing about electric cars is it's no compromise driving. They're cleaner, they're faster, they're cheaper to run, and the sooner we get the whole of society driving these cars, the better it will be for everyone.
I manage News Corp Australia's environmental sustainability initiative, 1 Degree. 1 Degree is about all the small steps that add up to big change. Electric cars and sustainable technology are absolutely one of those steps that add up to 1 degree of difference. So Craig, we've heard a lot about PHEVs. Can you tell us exactly what that means?
A PHEV stands for plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, which simply means it's a hybrid electric vehicle which either runs on electric motors and or a traditional engine. It's fantastic technology. There's 3 motors on board. There's 2 electric motors, one for the front wheels and one on the rear wheels, and there's also the petrol engine as well.
Can you tell us about EV mode? I believe that's the most energy efficient.
EV mode is simply where the 2 electric motors are driving the vehicle, which the power source is driven from the main battery. Basically what you can find on all your short inner city trips, you can do that in pure EV mode.
So Craig, I have solar at home, so I guess that makes it completely sustainable, right?
Absolutely. So basically when it's in pure EV mode, it's not using the petrol motor, therefore not emitting any emissions. And certainly if you're using renewable energy, that's fantastic too. I think what's amazing about this technology is that we've got a very normal vehicle which is very environmentally friendly, and that's what we need to do, is move to more sustainable transport, and this is really the start of it.
One of the myths of electric vehicles, or at least a question that I've heard quite a lot, is it difficult to charge? Do you need a special charging station? Is it, do you have to rewire something? And I don't know why there's a misconception that that's actually the case, because it's not. I quite literally just get the plug out of my boot and put it in the wall. It's that easy. It's like plugging in your phone charger at home. It actually tells you through the little energy flow how much energy is actually going into the battery if it's recharging it, going downhill from the kinetic energy of braking, or how much energy you're drawing from the battery or the motor and where it's actually flowing to, and you get these little arrows that integrate.
I love the way it drives in traffic. I love the way it drives on the motorway. The only surprise is the cost of running it, which is much cheaper than my previous car.
It is so relaxing to drive. My previous car was a sports car, and relaxing is probably not the term that I would use to describe my drive to work, but now I get to work and I'm completely relaxed. It's wonderful.
I expected it to be quiet, but I didn't expect it to handle as well and to drive as well. With the PHEV, I think you get a better feel, a better performance.
There's an instant torque, and I'm an old racing guy, so I love that power.
One concern our customers had initially was the range anxiety. When they hear that on battery it gets between 40 and 50 kilometres, range anxiety's gone.
Initially I thought this vehicle would be lacking performance, overcomplicated, just too hard to use, intimidating. However, it's quite the opposite. It is very user-friendly, simple to use, has a lot of power, and it's just a great vehicle.
Many people think that the batteries wear out very quickly. They don't. You can use them every single day for up to 10 years, and at the end of 10 years, you've still got a battery capacity of about 80%. You can then reuse those batteries in the home or in other environments, so you can reuse them.
Having greater education in Australia around electric vehicles would certainly encourage a greater uptake, seeing more charging stations and overcoming some of those fears about range anxiety with newer vehicles coming to market with longer range, or examples like the Outlander, which is a plug-in hybrid, which can certainly go the distance.
We took on the PHEV approximately a year ago. We run our PHEVs from renewable energy from our solar panels. We've included 11 charging stations at the moment around the city, and we're looking at putting in another 10 smart poles.
Our organisation's established some really ambitious emission reduction targets to reduce them by 70% before 2030. Our fleet emissions contribute to about 7% of that, so electric vehicles are a really important contributor to reducing our environmental footprint. We were working with Mitsubishi in 2009 and managed to get 2 of the first electric vehicles in the country. Our fleet's expanded since then to a total of 22 electric vehicles, which is one of the largest in the country. They're not expensive to operate. After purchase, we're running our electric vehicles for 80% cheaper than we can a normal vehicle fleet. We've had no problems with batteries in the 5 years that we've had our EV fleet, and you don't need to trial them. They work.
As a young person, I love driving electric vehicles because it makes such a huge difference in the long run, and because it contributes to the environment, it's very important to me because environmental issues are our future. And so taking these tiny steps to make such a huge difference, it's a no-brainer.
I feel that if you can use a mobile phone, you can definitely drive electric vehicles.
I would get another electric car in a heartbeat.
When the kids found out I was getting an electric car, they were all over the moon about it. The green aspects of the education that they're getting is very prominent. So when Dad's driving an electric car, it's something to show off to their friends, something to just be proud of.
They are practical more and more, no longer something to wait for in the future. They are here now.
Let me give you my vision of the future. I drive my car, I plug it into my solar array, it charges the car up for me, and then at night I use the car's battery to power my house. This is all coming. The electric vehicle is one of the tools that's going to make this happen.